tappity tap, tap tappity tap, tappity tap.
Sushi jackknife, 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 sushi jackknife.
Hot off the presses of another Kansas City Chiefs victory.
That's it.
There we go. On the way to the playoffs.
I never was in doubt, except for like the first quarter, second quarter, third.
Yeah.
Halfway through the fourth, I was in. Actually, the last 2 minutes, I was in doubt there. Okay, the whole game, I was in doubt.
Basically, the whole game. That whole game was back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to take the credit.
Okay.
So the Chiefs had struggled this season, right?
Yes, they have. Yes.
And I have a sweatshirt on.
Yeah.
You can see it if you have the video. If you don't, just trust it exists. I'm not nude while we record this time. Subscribe to the video to see more. And I bought this while we were in Kansas City. Since then, they haven't lost.
Dude.
I'm not saying that I believe in luck, but I am saying that this sweatshirt is undefeated.
Yeah.
And everything else I wore was very defeated. So I'll take the credit. I
believe in your Magic sweatshirt. You got the cup too?
This is okay. So it's a Joe's Kansas City is what it's called now. Oklahoma Joe's cup.
Yes. Yes.
Not related to the game at all. So it's been a week, and this cup is related to that. Let me give you the rundown on this week.
All right, hit me up.
So last weekend we recorded our other podcast, Nothing But a Bob Thing, and I talked about how it was snowing and how people here overreact. No one overreacted this time.
It was an appropriate reaction.
We have had it's like 7 inches of snow, I think. Yeah. Which in Tennessee shuts everything down. But on top of that, we had a day where it got above freezing slightly and then dipped down to 9 degrees. So I cannot get out of my neighborhood currently because the road has an inch of ice on it.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So school has not happened all week, which means I've been cooped up in a house with a hyperactive 7-year-old. On top of that, Monday, my wife went to the doctor, went to a walk-in clinic because her throat was hurting. She's had strep throat all week.
God. Oh, God.
Mm-hmm. So the reason this cup is here is you've been in my house. We have a lot of mason jars to drink out of.
Yes.
Mason jars everywhere. And I keep walking around going, who the fuck does this mason jar belong to?
You do not want to drink.
I've chosen the white plastic cup to differentiate my drink from the disgusting strep throat germs that I don't want.
Good plan. Yeah. Strep throat is horrible. Oh, it's so gross. It's.
I haven't had it since I was a kid. Dude. I have no tonsils because of it. They got rid of my tonsils because I kept getting strep throat.
And then you didn't get it anymore.
Yeah, I don't have it. Yeah. So maybe everyone should get rid of their tonsils. They don't do anything.
I got it one time as an adult when I worked with kids, like kids, elementary school kids. And it was the nastiest fucking experience. I opened my mouth and my tonsils were just covered in fucking ick. It was horrendous.
Yeah, she's got like on either side of her throat, just these white patches.
Yeah.
Disgusting. I don't.
It isn't.
So cooped up with a 7-year-old. Yesterday, the Harlem Globetrotters were in town, and we had been planning on going there because we had free tickets to the Harlem Globetrotters. We went to go drive there and took the turn out of our street, a little bit slick, took the turn onto the next street because I'm not going down the steep hill if you go straight.
Right.
Got to the hill to go across a bridge that's over a highway.
Yes.
And there are like 6 cars and 4 police officers at this intersection. No one's in a wreck. The cars are just abandoned. It turns out the cops aren't even there because of the streets. They're there because they had an emergency call and had to hike half a mile up the hill to get there because the roads are so icy.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
So I turned around. I got stuck. A very nice Hispanic man helped push my car to a dry area where someone had previously parked so that I could get enough speed up to go up the hill and back to my house.
Wow.
Which, if you've ever tried to work with someone who doesn't speak English while there's a 7-year-old trying to ask you questions in the back seat, it's a treat. I need to listen to what he's saying. Stop asking me questions.
Yeah.
Yes, I know the roads are bad. Shh. But we got there and everyone has survived. I don't have strep throat. Oh, yeah. I forgot one other thing. So I keep getting mysterious bug bites.
Oh God.
I think we have dust mites.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say bed bugs, and I was like,
no. Believe me, the amount of time this week that I have spent looking up what bed bug bites look like, versus what I have on my body, it's time I'll never get back. It's so much time I've spent doing this.
Well, I know how your mind works on stuff like this, so you definitely researched it hard.
Yeah. It's after the research, I'm 99% certain it's dust mites.
I need you to look at the back of my knee while we're at it, because I got some kind of funky ass bite, and I don't know what it is either. I've just been scratching it, not thinking about it. It can't be a mosquito. It's not as cold as it. So the bizarre thing is that it's not as cold here as it has been there lately. And, I have felt bad for everybody, and everyone's been texting me like, oh my God, what's it like there? What's the thing? We're like, well, you guys are totally fucked right now. We're like,
it's pretty warm. Why do you ask?
I did. The other day, someone was like, I had just come in from outside. They're like, I heard it warmed up outside. I was like, oh yeah? And I was like, yeah, it's like 30. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, no.
That's spring.
30 is not acceptable. I'm sorry. It's better than 6.
Yeah. We're all the way up to a balmy 22 right now.
Oh, that's actually pretty good. I would take 22 today. It's like 12 degrees right now or something.
Yeah. Tomorrow it's supposed to get above freezing, so maybe I'll be able to drive somewhere. This was the craziest icing I've ever seen. I went on Thursday to the grocery store at like 5.
Yeah.
I only was in there for 15 minutes. 5:15 I come out and I'm having to do like the weird duck walk thing across the parking lot to keep from falling down.
Yeah.
And Tokyo drifted around all the corners to get back to my house. It was crazy. Awesome. 15 minutes. It all changed.
I busted my ass this week. This is like the second or third time. No, I think the 4th time I've fallen. I really, I mean, and that's despite like everything. I don't know why there was so much ice on the sidewalk, because they do keep the sidewalks up, but like I didn't put on my boots, because it sucks to put on boots all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I see people in like sneakers and shit, and they seem fine, but my sneakers are like super flat on the bottom. Mm-hmm. And plus I have the dog, and the dog is pulling me, and I just fucking bit it, man. I mean, I didn't hurt myself. I caught myself like with my hands, but I went straight down. Yeah. And so Jen has these I feel so stupid doing it. She has these ice what are they called? Like spikes that you put on your shoes.
You're wearing like cleats outside?
Yeah, basically. And I mean, I feel like a jackass, but you don't fall. You know, I mean, like I walked on ice just to show it I could, you know.
you could go buy golf shoes, like the golf cleats. That would probably work, right? I don't know. Someone who lives in an icy area, tell me if golf cleats work for walking on it. Yeah.
I had the ice cleats on though, and I was on the sidewalk and I started doing a little tappity tap, tap tappity tap, tappity tap. And I was like, can I fucking tap dance? Like, I never thought about it my whole life. 39 years old. I'm like, could I become a fucking late in life tap dancer here?
There you go.
Greg Astaire. Like,
you need another hobby, right? So you can get into tap dancing.
Yeah. You see me playing a washboard, tap dancing at the same time.
That could get you some money.
Fireworks.
Someone would tip a street performer doing that, I think. I think the more things a street performer does, the more tips you get. So.
Yeah. And that's definitely the trajectory of my life. It's like I'm sliding towards just a street performer. I'm going to be a bronze statue guy in about 15 years.
Oh, I hope so. That's
be kind of
I want to be able to tell people that I have a bronze statue friend, and so far in my life that's been a lie. But you know, anything can happen.
There. Yeah. Tap tap tap. The other thing I've been experimenting with lately is up here in New England, they like their hash, not the kind you smoke, the kind you eat for breakfast. They like their hashes. For my whole life, I only knew of one kind of hash. Corned beef hash, right? And it was like, you know, Hormel made it, so we had it. Yeah, it's food. Here they have that, which I never really ate growing up. It just wasn't part of our milieu.
Right.
It was there, but no one bought it. It's like
it's always available in the store, but
right.
I mean, so is Dinty Moore beef stew, and people aren't like loading up on that all the time. So
they also have breakfast sausage hash, and they have roast beef hash, all of which I've tried at this point.
Okay,
guess what? They all taste the same.
Yeah, that's about right.
And they smell like dog food. They really do. When you open that can and you start to scoop it out. Oh man, it's
is this where
nasty
you
stuff.
find out you accidentally bought dog food? That's what you've been eating this whole time.
Why is it chunky? I thought it was supposed to be smooth.
Why does it keep promising me a shinier coat? I don't understand this can.
I'm switching to that shit that comes in a packet. It's that dog food that they advertise all the time that's like special made for each dog.
Oh man.
Farmer's dog or some shit like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So at risk of making sure they're never a sponsor on this podcast.
Yeah. How long has it been since we've had a sponsor? It's been a while.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, well, I mean, you know, there's still a possibility.
Yeah, sure.
You have a dog. I have two dogs.
Yeah.
Can you imagine spending that amount of money on dog food for your dog?
No.
Like we're talking, I mean, conservatively, I'm assuming it's $2 a meal.
Yeah,
for this
haven't
dog
looked
food.
Into it, but it's gotta be something like that.
Like it can't be cheap. And I like my dogs, but come on.
I know. Well, and I just can't help but think. I mean, I feel a little guilty when I watch the commercial. I'm like, yeah, I could probably my dog could eat better. But then I feed her shit all the time. I feed her like actual food.
Yeah,
all the time. But the other thing I think when I see those commercials is like, so my dog is going to eat better than like kids in some other country. Like that's a little fucked. You know what I mean? Like that's a little fucked up, you know?
All right. I looked it up. It starts at $2 a day.
A day. Okay.
That's the beginning point.
Okay.
You can pay bottom of the barrel $2 a day for your dog. I'm assuming that's if you have like a Chihuahua.
Right.
If you have your dog, oh man, you're spending far more than $2 a day. The estimates on this website are the cost can range from $40 to $500 a month.
Holy shit. It's $500 a month to spend on their fucking dog.
$500 a month is more than I spend on food for myself.
Yeah. That's more. Yeah. Right. That's
crazy talk. No.
Yeah.
No.
We were talking this week about how rent has gone crazy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you're aware of this, but we're in the process now of we're renting an apartment, right? And we still have our place back there, but renting an apartment is it's more expensive than our house right now.
Right.
And as you look around at other places, you're like, holy God. And I haven't really done price comparisons between different cities and stuff before. It's expensive as fuck to live here. I will say that. But there's not a lot of places where it's not expensive as fuck to live. Anywhere you would want to live, it's crazy.
Yeah. When we first moved to Nashville, we had an apartment. You remember this apartment? Not a good apartment. It was fine.
No. Didn't you guys have mold or water problems or something?
We at the end, right before we moved out, we had a pipe that was condensating.
Yeah,
because we had the hot water pipe for the apartments above us go through our storage area, and we kept telling them, and they kept going, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with it. It's fine." So the last week that we lived there, we just let the water run out of the closet. Yeah. It's a soggy carpet. Enjoy, guys. And if they were going to complain about it, we were going to go, "Hey, remember how we called you over and over?"
Yeah.
Anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
I looked up that apartment 2 years ago, and our rent at the time, I want to say it was $650.
Yeah.
Something
which is
like
reasonable. That's reasonable, you know?
Yeah. And it was now $1,200 a month.
They've doubled. They've basically doubled it. What the hell, man? And I know Nashville has been exploding for the last 10 years or whatever, 15 years. But holy shit, it's crazy.
That's too exploding. That's way too much.
Right. It's I don't know, man. It's nuts. It's
maybe they fixed the pipe. Maybe that's how much how much rent you have to pay to not have soggy carpet in your living room.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know. And our rent's going up a little bit. It's not much, but it's going up a little bit here. And it's this is a nice building. Definitely it is a nice building, but their reasoning was well, we're way below what other people are charging. Why does that matter? I don't understand why that matters, you know? It seems like the longer you live somewhere, your rent should go down. You know,
that would make sense.
Maybe not by a lot, but
loyalty bonus. We'll take off 10%. You're loyal.
Right. Totally.
That's rent control. I guess we're describing rent control.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of places that should have rent control. I think about some of my older folks that I worked with back in Nashville who have been at the same apartment building for 10 years and they keep raising the fucking rent. It's crazy. It's nuts, man.
And how long are they going to be there until they're priced out of it?
Exactly. And then where do they go? People that are on a fixed income and stuff too. It's fucked, man.
They go to Mississippi. That's where they go.
Yeah.
You could still rent an apartment in Mississippi for $650. I guarantee it.
Yeah. You know what? Honest to God, if I didn't have to worry about what school my kid was going to go to or something, I would totally go do something like that. Mississippi is just great. I'm at a point right now where I'm I just want more house. You know what I mean? I want more space,
I have been an advocate for years of us selling our house and going to Detroit and buying buying a few abandoned houses on the same block, and then we have so much space. I can have my own house for things. But totally. It's a hard sale.
It is.
Apparently, living in Detroit isn't great. Whatever. I don't know. The Lions won.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah,
it can't be bad.
Jared Goff lives there. It's fine. If
Jared Goff can survive in Detroit, anyone can survive in Detroit. Look at that guy.
I was thinking, if something bad happens, he'll just he's like your public superhero. Yeah, he'll just come, or the Detroit Lions generally, when they're not playing, they patrol the streets.
What you do if you live in Detroit and you get into any trouble, because I think we've all seen 8 Mile. We know what happens in Detroit. You just tell them that Jared Goff is your cousin.
Yeah,
and then they'll immediately go, okay. All right. That's fine. That's good. NFC Championship. That's fine. We're good.
Yeah. Beef squashed. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Until he blows it next week, and then it's all gone.
Yeah. So they'll play the 49ers, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Kansas City's going to play the Ravens.
The Baltimore Ravens.
Who have had, the best record this year or something?
Yeah, they're very good.
They're very good. Yeah.
The Chiefs aren't. It doesn't look good.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to beat the Bills.
Yeah, I'm not going to say they won't make it, because they've already proven me wrong multiple times. I thought they were probably going to have a hard time with the Dolphins. They destroyed the Dolphins. It wasn't even close. I thought they would lose this game. They beat the Bills. By the way, and this is a football heavy episode now, but I don't care.
It's where we are right now.
Yeah. So for those who didn't watch the game, the Chiefs were ahead by 3 points, and the Bills had the opportunity to tie it with a field goal.
Yes.
And their field goal kicker shanked a kick from, what was it, the 25-yard line?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Wide right.
Yeah.
How... taking out the fact that I know you want the Bills to suffer.
Yeah,
taking
me personally,
yeah, you.
Yeah, I do. I hate them.
How bad do you feel for that kicker?
Oh,
as a human being.
Yeah, because if he had tied it up, they could have easily went into overtime.
Yeah,
because there were only a few minutes left. Yeah,
it's only based on a coin flip at that point, most likely.
Right.
Because if someone scores a touchdown on the first drive, it's over.
Exactly. And based on how the game was going, every drive someone scored almost.
That sucks so bad. That guy.
Yeah.
And it ends the season, so he has months to think about that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel empathy for that man.
Yeah, that's good of you. That's good of you.
Josh Allen, I don't feel bad for.
No, me neither. Yeah, and their coach, I just wonder what state he's in at this moment. He always looks like he's about to lose it, even when things are going well.
That's true.
He looks like a genuinely angry person,
Well, and it's not the type of anger where you're like, he's going to go in and punch a hole in a wall or something.
Yeah.
It's like a weird seething anger.
Yes.
Where he's going to go murder a cat tonight just to get out some aggression. And that's what he's going to do.
He looks a lot like Bill Burr. And so every time I see him, I'm just like, there he is, angry Bill Burr.
Maybe that's why we think that. Because Bill Burr has a lot of aggression. Maybe it's just his relationship to Bill Burr.
Yeah, it very well could be. That's for sure. But that was rough to miss that kick. That was really rough.
It's so bad.
Yeah,
I've tried to think of in not just football, not just sports, but in any field, if there's more pressure than trying to kick a field goal to tie or win a playoff game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And being president, there's probably more pressure.
Yeah. It's not all down to like one thing you do in a moment,
right?
But there's a lot of
I think that's the only thing I can come up with, though.
Yeah.
Like every other job, if you screw it up, it's like,
whatever.
We'll fix it next time.
Yeah. That's the attitude I need to adopt about. So I have like basically 2 part-time jobs at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them, like, and I'm not saying people shouldn't take their job seriously. Like, they definitely should. Like, everybody should take their job seriously to whatever level you need to. But I'm realizing that like I need to back up and like let the pressure off a little bit on this one.
Yeah,
because some of it truly does not matter, like to anyone.
Right.
So it's like a video thing, and like very few people watch these videos. Like it's like sort of like legal that they need to exist, but that doesn't mean that anyone engages in the content, like at all. I mean, a few people do, sure, but like the stakes are pretty low, you know?
So, well, I know you well enough to know anything like that.
Yeah,
there's a just and perfectionist switch that gets flipped every so often.
You've seen this, yeah.
So I'm sure that's going on, and just turn it off. Just turn it off. No one cares what you do.
I know. You're right. It's true. I'm kind of just a warm body at the moment, you know, and
it sounds harsh, but that's kind of true for everyone. Like, no one really cares. Unless you are Taylor Swift, no one cares what you do day in and day out.
Yes.
If you're Taylor Swift, everyone cares about everything you always do all the time.
Definitely.
People don't even care about the president as much as they care about Taylor Swift.
Well, that's true. That's definitely true. By the way, it looks like, you know, I'm sure people were saying that like she's going to curse the season or something, right? Like unfairly. Clearly that hasn't happened, you know?
No.
Yeah, you can't argue that.
And games she's come to, well, backing up for those who don't know, because they don't understand anything in the world.
Anything.
Taylor Swift is dating Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce.
Yes.
You might have heard this 8 billion times everywhere you go for the last few months.
Yeah.
And he actually has done better when she comes to games.
Yeah.
So maybe
he
has to still try to impress her. Like, he hasn't locked that down yet. There's no ring on that finger. So.
Right. And I hope for her that, like, because she obviously is a very busy person. People often talk about how savvy she is business wise. I'm hoping this is like a nice like pressure relief valve in her life. Where, sure, she's going to go there and they're going to put the camera on her after every play that he makes.
All the time.
Like every single time he makes a play, good or bad, they tend to shoot up at the box and see her reaction.
That's got to be exhausting, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Can you?
Oh, yeah.
Just leave her alone.
I know, but other than that, like she has no control over what's happening. No. And, maybe that's nice for her in some way. I'm wondering.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's kind of just a human being attending a football game.
Right.
Which apparently is really interesting to a lot of people.
Yeah.
She does a great job being there. From what I can tell, she pays attention to the game, which is a big plus if you're going to a game.
Yes.
That's really my only requirement for going to a game. So she passes my test.
It made me so happy. And I'm such an asshole. It made me so happy to see those Bills fans pissed off at the end. You bastards deserve it.
I really like seeing sad fans, as long as it's not my team.
Right.
Even if it's not a team that I'm actively rooting against.
Right.
The fans that sit there, they're crying. Like,
that's a big reaction.
I get the players crying. It's a big emotional investment you've had this season. You've spent a lot of time on this.
Right.
If you are a player, you're allowed to cry as much as you want. If you are a fan, maybe not. Not that I want everyone to lock up their emotions or anything. But
right.
Maybe you need to check your priorities a little bit.
Yeah. It should improve your mood when your team wins, but it shouldn't negatively affect you too much when they lose.
No, when the Chiefs lose, I don't go on social media for a day. And that's pretty much my entire reaction. And that's just like, I don't want to read everyone talking about how bad they did.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only thing.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Speaking of players crying, I heard somewhere, maybe you can confirm this for me. I heard somewhere that like sometimes when you get head trauma, you'll roll a couple of tears. Like there's some relationship between like getting concussed and tears coming out of your eyes.
I don't know. I've never heard that, but that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, not like a pain thing, but just like a response to the concussion. Yeah.
Yeah, there was so last season, the Dolphins quarterback Tua. I can't ever say his last name, and I'm not going to try it.
Tagovailoa, something like that.
Sure,
that's reasonably close.
Tagovailoa, yeah. He got a concussion in a game.
Yeah,
and they said he left the game for a back injury because they were being very bad human beings. Remember, if you're a doctor for a team, you're probably supposed to make sure that they don't damage themselves forever.
Yeah, that's the idea.
So maybe don't lie about concussions.
Right.
And he went out the next game and got annihilated on a sack. And he still, most likely, at that point, had a concussion. This one was definitely a concussion. And he was laying on the ground, and his hands were doing this.
Like fingers contracting, fingers
his
expanding?
Fingers were contracting. Yeah. Oh. Not him doing it. Apparently, it's an involuntary thing.
Oh,
that caused. Yeah, that when you have head trauma, your hands will do that. Wow. Like he was out. He didn't know he was doing anything. He needs to retire. If you're a football player and you have that happen one time, don't play anymore.
Yeah.
Just don't. It's a bad idea.
It definitely is.
You have like a whole life ahead of you to not have your brain damaged. So maybe don't do that.
That's rough, man. That's rough. I do like Tua though. I liked the Dolphins somewhat this year. They were pretty good.
Tua, I want to dislike him because everyone talks about him all the time as if he's a top quarterback, and he's not. And he's not a top quarterback.
Yeah, that's true.
But he seems like a nice, likable guy.
Yeah.
After the Chiefs beat him in the playoffs, he went and asked Patrick Mahomes for his jersey. Like he wanted to trade jerseys like players do. And that's a very nice response to getting beaten in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Also, it was negative 20 degrees. Just go to the locker room. Talk to him later. You don't need to do that on the field.
Yeah.
Find a heater.
Yeah. Seriously, find a heater. Oh my God.
Oh boy.
Not to shift gears too much, but I wanted to show you something. So back around Christmas when I was last in Nashville, me and Adam hit up the Turnip Green Creative Reuse place, which is one of my favorite places to go there because it's pay what you want. And they have all kinds of stuff you can like do arts and crafts with, but they also have CDs, cassette tapes, and VHS tapes. This was one of the tapes that I got last time I was there. Digging Up the Past, Paris City Cemetery, Living History Tour, October, is that 13th, 2001? Yeah. Okay. So I just popped it in last night, And so could this be Paris, France? You might be saying to yourself, well, maybe that'd be cool, but more than likely it's Paris, Tennessee. And guess what? It was Paris, Tennessee. So 2001, it looks very much like a semi-professional production on a video camera from 2001. And it is what it is. I wasn't sure what it was going to be. What it is people walking. Well, you don't see anyone walking, but apparently there's a crowd moving from grave to grave. And at each grave, they meet a person who is impersonating the person buried at that grave and telling their life story in the first person in full costume, by the way.
Huh.
Yeah, it's weird.
Do they still do this?
That's a great question. I don't know. I feel like it's my civic duty, having been to Paris, Tennessee once, to like check in with their historical society or something, and just make sure they have a copy of this somewhere. This guy was a real character. He was some sort of print. He was like a newspaper guy, but I thought he was a barbecue chef in a newspaper hat, and he had something in his hand. I couldn't tell what it was. It looked like tongs, and this man literally kept banging on the person's grave he was impersonating with the tongs while he was telling the life story.
Why is this a thing?
I don't know. And there's this fella here in the top hat and the bow tie and the spats and all. He was some sort of tycoon. And it ended with this guy who has maybe the most unfortunate fake beard ever. This guy was a General Atkins, who had I think he said he had the distinct honor of, he was a United States senator, like U.S. senator. Then when the South seceded, he was a Southern senator. Then after the war, he was like one of the only people to get back in the regular Senate after that. So this dude had a storied history. I mean, how do you even do that?
I was immediately going to ask, when you said general, which side, and that explains that. So there we go.
Dude, it was fascinating. I mean, it was an hour long, and I legitimately was hooked. Like, I needed to watch the whole thing. And I mean, it had some problematic spots though.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it's like dead white guy after dead white guy, couple dead white ladies, and then one black guy.
Oh no!
Who
they did the voice, didn't they?
Well, I mean, this was played by an actual African American person. Okay. Yeah. This was not somebody from Paris, Tennessee in blackface, thank God. It was portrayed by an actual African American, but he's telling the story of the like one standing grave marker of the slave, and clearly he didn't write the copy, and it just felt a little, didn't feel quite right. Yeah,
I'm sure we have people that haven't really spent much time in the South that listen to this.
Yeah.
It's kind of the slavery situation down here. The commentary on slavery is a trip. I remember I went to a music festival in Murfreesboro,
just south of Nashville.
Of Middle Tennessee State. It's a college town. So you would think, okay, fairly progressive, whatever. They had this museum in the park where the festival was at, and I went through, and it had like the history of farming, and there was one exhibit that mentioned slavery, and then goes out of its way to talk about how, now, while slavery was bad, most people only owned one or two slaves, not the many that everyone talks about. and many were treated very well.
Oh boy.
All right. So,
oh boy.
Good for them, I guess.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, there's a cognitive dissonance that goes on for sure. And you do have a lot of not apologizing, but sort of apologists around the issue.
No, apologizing's off. That's not an option. You can't do that. That admits fault. And we're very focused on pointing out that the Southern, the Confederacy was only in a war because of tax situations and things of that nature.
Yes.
Not that they wanted to own humans. It's not that. It wasn't about that.
And according to every roadside stand you can go to in the southern states, the South will rise again, Nathan. Again.
But again, not to own people. They don't want to own people anymore, right? Wink.
That's
it's the South. It's great.
They, this production though did do a great job, and Paris, Tennessee is a nice little town. Being that it's Paris, they have a I don't know, a 1/8 sized Eiffel Tower there or something. It's maybe 25 feet tall. I don't know. It's in their park. You walk around it. I think they have a thing with like fried fish or something like that. Like they have a lot of fish fries there, something like that.
Oh, I like that. Now I want to go.
Nothing wrong with the fish fry.
At one point we talked about going there because our friends, our mutual friends, went to Paris last year with their child. Yes. Paris, France. I guess I need to I need to specify. They went to the proper Paris, not the improper one. My child found out that their daughter was going to Paris and said, I want to go to Paris too. And immediately my first thought was, we could go there. It's a good weekend trip. Just go and drive out there, 2 hours, walk around. Yeah. They got McDonald's. Look, it's there. They do. And then you come home.
Yeah. I went there for like a solo getaway right after we recorded at remember we recorded that Bob episode at Holston House?
Yeah.
Holston House at the hotel. Right after that I went to Paris, and I had I went to like an Italian restaurant that was fine, and a Japanese restaurant that was also fine. And I stayed in the Super 8, which was a little less than fine, but adequate. Right. Yeah.
it was no La Quinta Inn. It was way worse.
As previously established, it was no La Quinta. Yeah, that's right. La Quinta fucking rules.
Yeah, I still have never been. If he ever brings up Paris again, maybe we'll go. He has a short attention span, so it probably will never come back up.
Yeah. It's a John Prine song where he's talking about Rome, Georgia, Athens, Texas, and Paris, Tennessee. I've been to 2 of those. I have not been to Athens, Texas, but I lived in Rome, Georgia.
Now you know where you need to go.
I know, obviously, yeah.
I'm sure it's a great place. Which part of Texas is it in?
I have no idea. I've never looked it up.
If it's anywhere near Franklin, I'm in.
Yeah.
Franklin barbecue. Sorry.
I just agree with you without knowing what you're saying. I figured out.
Athens, Texas. It looks like it is in the middle of nowhere.
Like West Texas, like way out there.
It's east, but nearby municipalities. Let's see. 72 miles from Dallas.
That's a ways. It's a good ways.
It's not a good sign when one of the nearby municipalities is Corsicana.
I've heard of Corsicana. Yeah.
It has 25,000 people. Athens, Texas is the black-eyed pea capital of the world.
Oh, now I really want to go.
There you go.
I love black-eyed peas. Come on.
It's the capital. It does not explain on Wikipedia why it's called that.
Right, like an hour and change from you in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee, they do the Cornbread Festival.
Oh,
every year. Yeah. We went one time before we even moved to Nashville, and
I like cornbread.
It's pretty good, man. You can have lots of different cornbreads.
Yeah,
lots and lots. It's very hot though because it's in the summer, and you really don't want to eat like tons of hot cornbread in the hot
sun. I have trashed Southern barbecue so much, and you have witnessed this.
Oh, I have. Yes, I have.
You know my experience. The one thing Southern barbecue places nail that they get right is everywhere else they give you Texas toast with your barbecue.
Right.
Cornbread or hoe cakes here.
Oh, hoe cakes are good. Yeah.
So much better than Texas toast.
Yeah. You can do a lot more with your cornbread.
Yeah.
And it's like you tried. Like Texas toast, it's like you made toast.
Yeah. You don't even toast it. Like if you get barbecue in Kansas City, they'll give you Texas toast, but it's just the bread. It's not that they toasted it or anything. It's just eat white bread. Here's a thick piece of white bread.
This is killing me right now, man. You know what I'm really missing is I haven't had, it's not even hot chicken. Like hot chicken, but like I want that soggy ass piece of bread that's under the chicken. I'm craving that right now.
That's the proper use of Texas toast. Cornbread wouldn't work there.
No.
For those who've never had it, hot chicken, traditionally, or hot catfish. If you go to Bolton's,
hot catfish too. Yeah,
comes on top of the white bread, which then soaks in all the grease and seasoning, and it's gross and delicious at the same time.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you're like, this is disgusting, but it's
you feel shame while you eat it.
Yeah, and you should. Naturally, you should, but it is fucking good, man. It's so good.
Yeah. You're not sitting there eating it going, I look awesome right now. This is a great situation. Man. I haven't had hot chicken in a minute. I need to do that.
Well, as soon as you fucking thaw out, you need to get your ass to Prince's or Bolton's or somewhere.
Bolton's.
Yeah, well, I know you like Bolton's. Yeah, I like Bolton's too. Yeah.
Well, I like the hot catfish option. I like catfish. Also, everyone we know will tell you to go to Hattie B's.
Yeah.
Which is just gentrified hot chicken.
It's true.
You get no vibe. There's no vibe there. It's too clean.
It is good. There's no doubt about it. It's good. Yeah. And it's the sort of like middle of the road choice if you don't know what your company wants to get into.
Right. It's the safe option. Everyone will come away happy.
Yeah.
But you do, like, it's just so clean. And
it's it's clean. And it's like, you know how like restaurants will have like a chalkboard menu or something. Mm-hmm. Sometimes like they have a fake one, you know? It's like, it's that kind of thing. It's like, okay, we get it.
I want the menu that it's like a light up menu with the slide in letters and numbers, and they don't all match because over time letters have fallen out and they've had to order different ones that don't quite look the same. I want that.
Yes.
That's a good place to eat.
That's what I'm talking about. That or like the laminated menu that's seen better days. Mm-hmm. Like the edges are coming apart and shit. Like
the great one is the laminated menu where they've gone in and they've just like taken a Sharpie to cross out menu items.
Yes.
Because they don't want to print off new menus. Like, these are our menus. We don't have that anymore.
Definitely been to some Mexican restaurants where that happened, where, you know, they traditionally have the big like fold open menu. Like the trifold, and then it's like, oh, we don't do Moriscos anymore, and they just scratch that out. Too many people,
and it's always good.
It's
a good place to eat.
Definitely.
We went when we were in Kansas City. This was a new place for me to go. when we visited over Christmas, we went to LC's barbecue. And
LC's. Oh, LC's. Okay.
Yeah. It's out in the kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
It's been there for decades, old black owned business.
Yeah.
We were the only white people there. It was fantastic.
Yeah. As it should be.
Yeah. I want to be the minority when I eat food.
Yep.
Anyway, I walked in and they had the light up menu that I'm talking about with the lettering.
Yeah.
But in addition, it was hung by a chain on the window that like one end was longer than the other. So it's like this slanted menu that looks like it's about to fall. Yeah. Great barbecue. I was not let down at all. I saw the menu. I knew it would be good. And let me tell you, if you're ever in Kansas City, go check it out. I recommend it.
That's like L, like the letter L and C.
Yes.
Okay.
It was the original owner's name, initials. I don't know the name. Yeah. I looked it up at one point. I did not memorize it. But yeah, it was, and they have the big barbecue pit and this.
Oh yes.
This is the equivalent of the hot chicken. So Hattie B's would be the equivalent of like the barbecue place where, they bring out the barbecue to you on a tray and it's nice and organized. Right. You want the barbecue place that's like the Boltons of barbecue places.
Yes.
Where the pit is open and you can see the years of grime that have built up on the doors. You want it to be dirty and then it's good.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more.
It was so
it's either
good.
that or you're just eating fucking hash all day.
That's it. Just cans. You know what? I want hash that looks questionable too.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, you want hash. You're
you want the dented can. You want.
I think I had a revelation today. I think I'm mostly done with pancakes. I could give a fuck about a pancake anymore. Okay. Every time I eat them, I don't feel good. Yeah. I feel like weighed down. I feel sick and tired.
You know what you're describing for me?
Yeah.
French fries. I have the same thing for French fries.
Okay.
If it's a seasoned fry, it's a different thing.
Yeah, sure.
But just your basic French fry? Nah. I don't want them anymore.
You think it's the grease?
The grease doesn't make me feel good. Yeah. And they're just not that good anymore to me.
Yeah, I understand. It's got to be a special fry. I agree with you. I don't just want like a fucking pile of fries for no reason.
Now, if you give me an Arby's curly fry, I'll eat that all day, every day, forever until I die, which would be very quickly if I'm eating that many Arby's curly fries.
Oh my God. I used to love to go to Arby's and get the chicken. Actually, people think Arby's is gross now. A lot of people.
No.
I'm gonna defend Arby's. I fucking love Arby's.
No, I'm with you. It became the trendy thing to make fun of Arby's, and you know what? One of the best fast food places.
I would agree. I love that roast beef, man. Those chicken fingers used to be the fucking shit. There and Dairy Queen, man. The fucking chicken fingers at Dairy Queen, and you can get gravy. That's key. Yeah. That is key. That's a good use of Texas toast, actually. Because that, yeah.
They got the Texas toast right. They're the only place that them and hot chicken get it right.
That's right.
Everyone else is wrong.
You need a bowl of gravy to dip your toast in.
Oh, yeah. Dairy Queen gets a bad rap. Arby's gets a bad rap.
Yep.
And then all these people want to eat McDonald's. Come on.
Yeah, fuck off.
Come on.
What are you doing?
Unless you're talking McDonald's breakfast, which is pretty good.
Yeah. I will eat some McDonald's breakfast. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, French fries. I don't know that I care anymore.
I feel you, man. I feel you. Yeah. And the pancake, like I make these crepes at home. I got that recipe from Roy years ago. And they're far superior to any pancake.
I'll go with, I do like a good crepe. Yeah? I have a crepe pan because I I got into crepes at one point. I don't know when the last time was I had a pancake or a crepe voluntarily. Like there's the involuntary, they end up in front of you.
Yeah, that happens. Yeah.
But like saying I would like a pancake or crepe. Yeah. That hasn't happened in a long time.
Well, when's like the last time you ended up at like an IHOP? It's been a while for me.
Yeah, not recently. Well, I have tricked my child. I didn't tell you this. Into loving Waffle House.
Oh, good man.
I spent a lot of time on this. A lot of work went into, and now he has asked twice to go to Waffle House.
Oh, yes. Come on.
Which is a dream come true for me. It's so much better than all of the other diners. I guess they're diners.
Yeah. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you for saying that. It's nice. It's nice to hear.
Fantastic. I don't know what they do with their waffle, but it's the only waffle that's worth ordering at a restaurant.
It's a good damn waffle. Yep. You can get it with pecans. You can get it with chocolate chips now. I say now, but probably for 20 years you could do that. But
yeah, the last time we went, he ordered a pumpkin spice waffle.
What?
And I was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. And then he got it. And I ate half of the waffle while he wasn't looking because it's pretty good. It's a pretty good waffle.
And if you want like a vanilla Coke, it's like the best vanilla Coke at a Waffle House. Oh,
yeah.
Man, I love Waffle House. Holy shit.
They don't have Waffle House up there, right?
Fuck no, dude. They don't have anything good.
Do they have Denny's? Are you stuck with Denny's?
Okay. This place has been just shitting on me continually, right? Plenty of good things have happened, right? But like,
right.
A lot of small little turds have come in my way. One of which, there's a Denny's like really close to us, and I was like, I want to go to the Denny's. So like, we hardly ever go out for breakfast. I make breakfast a lot on the weekend, not every weekend, but a lot of weekends. And I was like, that'd be nice. One day we'll go. Denny's is cheap. We'll go have breakfast at Denny's. Fucking place closed, man. It might have been closed for like 2 weeks and I didn't notice because they leave the lights on. There's just never any cars there or people inside. It's bizarre. And it's like a brand kind of new Denny's. Like, I don't know what happened. It makes me upset. Yeah,
it's every place needs a Denny's or a Waffle House.
Yeah.
And like you'll always see them next to, in the South here, a Cracker Barrel, right next to a Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, that's true.
Never go to the Cracker Barrel. Always go to the Waffle House.
That's correct.
Every single time.
You could go to the Cracker Barrel. Go to the store in the Cracker Barrel. Buy some shit you don't need.
Right. Go to the store in the Cracker Barrel, find a Toby Keith Greatest Hits CD. And then hop over to the Waffle House and get a pumpkin spice waffle. That's what
probably
you want.
Use the bathroom at the Cracker Barrel though while you're there.
Yeah, no, don't use the Waffle House. No, that's a mistake for sure. Yeah.
Oh man, I know I've talked about this before, but like, I think he's the grandson of the guy who founded Chick-fil-A. This was a story that went around years ago. Dude was like 20 something years old. I think he was in college. Had a total fucking flip out on drugs or just a mental breakdown. I'm not sure. Barricaded himself into a Waffle House bathroom in Atlanta and had to be like forcibly removed by the police. This is the guy, the founder of Chick-fil-A is like a really conservative dude, and they're, very sort of conservative as a thing.
Right.
And that was so great to see when that, I feel bad for the guy. I hope he's okay, but
Right. It's not like if you had to have a run-in with the police.
Yeah.
I don't know that barricading yourself in the Waffle House bathroom is the worst way to go.
Right. I agree.
It's at least interesting. It's a story to tell people,
It's definitely a good story. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you got no Denny's, you got no Waffle House.
Yeah, there are diners here, but an unmarked diner I feel like I got to case it out a little bit before I go in.
Yeah, you don't want to just go into any diner.
Right. Right.
That's how you end up with either diarrhea or a bill to pay for $15 avocado toast.
Yeah.
Like those are the two ends of the spectrum on Mark diners.
Yeah.
And neither's good.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm also just like worried about being like mean mugged by the locals for some reason.
You probably will be.
Right? Don't you think? Yeah, probably will.
What's this guy doing? He doesn't have his snow cleats on.
That's not how you eat hash. Fuck.
That's just a can of goddamn dog food.
I think that's a sushi jackknife.
That's a sushi jackknife.
Bye, everybody. Go eat some dog food.